Hey guys, Ben with Tririg here, and continuing to look at bike setups and bike positions from the 2024 Ironman World Championship. This time in front of us here, we have, I guess who we have to say is the undisputed fastest cyclist in long course triathlon, Sam Laidlow. Now, it is triathlon, right? It is not a cycling race, and Sam Laidlow might have forgotten that in this case, or he just did what he knew he had to do to put himself in contention for the win. I'm not going to judge that either way right now, but let's take a look at his bike setup because he broke his own Kona bike course record by a lot. Rode under 4 hours, first person ever to ride under 4 hours, and he did it by a big margin. Came off the bike with a big lead, and then, of course, got ran into by Patrick Lang, whose position we have also looked at. But yeah, let's check out Sam's bike here. Pretty blingy, a little gaudy. I don't know. I kind of like it. He is the Ironman World Champion. He can do from the previous year, he can do these gold accents without any issue. But yeah, so Sam's position here is honestly very similar to Patrick Lang's, where we looked at way out over the bottom bracket here. Which is a super common trend, but Sam probably does it more extreme than anyone else. Sam is so far out over, sitting on the nose of his saddle with that saddle all the way forward. Look at that. It's very much all the way forward in the rails. And really just getting as long as possible. Pretty stretched out here. Can't quite tell from this angle, but I'm within the realm of kind of what we expect. Also running a very similar one-piece arm setup that we saw Patrick Lang on. Seems like most of these Canyon riders got this custom setup there. And what the heck is going on here? I just have to believe that this is not within the letter of the law of Ironman's new fairing rule, which explicitly bans tape as fairings and stuff like that. I don't know. I'd be curious what's going on here because I have no doubt that it is aerodynamic, but this is so far from the stock setup on this bike, which is normally just a little riser like that. I'm sure they made it structural in some way so that they could argue that it does fall within the spirit of the rule. But it looks a little ridiculous, and I have no doubt that it's fast. So, good on him for using that and setting it up like that, but it's a little questionable in my eyes. And then, he's going with kind of a trend we're seeing a lot of, 2 bottles facing backwards, kind of filling in that space under his chest and torso there. Looks pretty good, using a rubber band to secure it. I even think that he started with plastic bottles and then continued to refill from on-course bottles as well. So, very similar setup in the back here to most Canyon riders, which is the fin and a single bottle and a nice aerodynamic position there. One thing that I am interested here with Sam Laidlow, and I know at least one other rider did this as well, is Ironman KT or athletic tape on the shins. It looks like it, and he wouldn't do that for no reason. There was a controversy in cycling a while ago where some riders were using athletic tape because apparently they found a way to make your calves more aerodynamic. That was in the track cycling world, and then it eventually got banned by the cycling governing body. But here we are with what can't just be random tape, considering a couple people did it. So interesting choice there. I'd be curious how big the gains are, but Sam Laidlow is someone who is after all the gains, and so I really appreciate that he's kind of going all out for it. Always love to see this super thick 180 millimeter rim in the back for Kona where disc wheels aren't allowed. It's, I think, a little bit unfortunate for riders who have wheel sponsors that are not Head or Evolve at this point, who made a similar one but a tri-spoke, just because that wheel is almost certainly going to be the fastest in most conditions where disc wheels are banned. And so, but good on Sam for picking a wheel sponsor that is going to best help him achieve his goals of riding really fast in Kona and potentially winning world championships. Other than that, pretty standard setup. One thing I did point out with Patrick Lang's setup, and that is different from Sam's here, they have similar helmets. They have the same helmet sponsor. Sam is riding with no vents. There is no ventilation in this helmet aside from maybe his visor there, but that's probably just for defogging reasons. So did Sam pay the price on his run for running a helmet that might run hot, especially in the Kona heat and humidity? Now, this Kona was not crazy hot, but that's always going to be a factor when you're spending 4 hours on the bike and then you have to run a marathon after. So, yeah, I don't know if he'll ever kind of talk about that or if we'll see him run a different vented helmet in the future, but it's definitely a decision that some people made and some people didn't, and the Ironman World Champion decided to run vented, and so we have to imagine that's a good move. But yeah, this setup right here, fastest bike split of all time in Kona. I have to imagine the only person who's going to break it again anytime soon will also be Sam Laidlow in the future. So being pretty interested to see what happens in 2 years when the men are back on the island. But I mean, yeah, absolutely beautiful position. You can't fault anything about the speeds and the way that he rode, other than the fact that he might not have remembered he still had to run 26 miles off the bike after. But still, I mean, a great biking performance from an amazing athlete here and a previous Ironman world champion.